You've reached the busy signal. I'm Jim, your host, and this podcast is all about revisiting the pop culture we grew up with. From the TV shows and movies we love, to music, commercials, and the moments that never really left us. The Busy Signal, episode 70. Thanks for listening. Seriously, wow, 70 episodes seems kind of crazy to me right now. We're definitely hitting the 100 episode mark. This show is going to go probably as long as I can keep the wheels on it. I have this year planned out. I have most of 2027 planned out at this point. So plenty of Busy Signal in the future. As far as this episode, we've talked a lot over the years now about toys that have beeped, buzzed, lit up, yelled at us through tiny distorted speakers, but we've never dedicated a proper episode to one of the biggest toy trends of the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s. But we're going to do it today. Talking toys. And talking toys cover a huge range. Dolls, action figures, nondescript electronic boxes, built-in phrases, toys that feature cassettes, 100% digital learning toys, pull-string toys. We're going to do a handful today. And joining me, because I'm not alone in this slightly terrifying and futuristic topic of talking toys, is June. You've heard June here before. She is not a first-time guest, a third-time guest. So welcome back, June, to the Busy Signal.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me.
June, how have you been since last we had you on the show?
I've been well, yeah. Wrapping up the school year and looking forward to summer.
Speaking of school, was that the last time we had you on the show? Was the school episode, our back to school episode back in the fall? Were you on another one since then?
I think back to school was my last one, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back. Did you have talking toys when you were growing up?
I did have a few, yes. They weren't the ones that I gravitated towards mostly, but I did have one particular toy that I very much enjoyed that was a talking toy that I will bring up later, but yeah, they weren't really my thing except for the one.
So you gravitated more towards like imagination-based toys rather than let's slap some batteries in it and have it talk at you kind of toys?
Yes. Also the Atari.
Oh, well, it was the 2600, right? The Atari 2600?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it was like Pong and like it had like 3 games. Yeah. It was...
I didn't start with the video games until Nintendo. Eventually I did get an Atari, but it was like much, much later. I found it like a garage sale for like $10. That's a fun machine. Yeah, okay. I had some talking toys as well, but I was more than happy to play with the imagination-based toys. But growing up in the 80s specifically, talking toys, I know they have been around for a while, like going back decades, but still in the 80s, it still kind of felt high-tech and like futuristic when you had a talking toy.
Yeah, it depended on the talking toy. Some of them were a little more futuristic than others, but yeah, for sure. Especially, Max Headroom, like when he came on the scene, it kind of like changed your perception of some of the things that we had heard. And when something was speaking to you in a kind of a computer-like voice, it definitely was future sounding.
The 80s definitely brought in that like computer aspect to things. Max Headroom definitely with computer and that. He was like very glitchy, which was fun.
Yes. So,
because it's a rule here on the show, guests go first. We're going to be talking toys, and I've got a few, you've got a few. Let's see if we have any crossover. Let's see if we had the same toys growing up. I'm going to give it over to you, and we'll see what your first talking toy was.
So I decided that I was going to start with youngest and move my way to older kids.
So did I.
Oh, yeah. Nice. So I started with something called Who Says? And Who Says was an owl who had a spinny in the middle of his body, and he had a little crank on the side. You pulled the crank down, it spun around, it landed on a number, and it would say the number, or it landed on a letter, and it would say, A is for ant, or whatever. So that was the entire thing. It was definitely a pre-recorded system where it just had those specific things that it said, whatever it landed on.
Interesting. So that's kind of like, is that like a See and Say?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was one of the See and Says, yeah.
Okay, so is it like in the same family as a See and Say? It's got that like an arrow that would spin around and it stops on the thing.
What can your child learn from the Farmer Says?
Ribbit, ribbit, says the frog. Arf, arf, goes the dog. Guess who says cock-a-doodle-doo? And I learned it from a See and Say.
See and say toys like the farmer says make learning so much fun.
Here is a duck.
It's a shame for your child to have just one.
I know my ABCs. I know my 1, 2, 3. I know my blues and greens. And all the in-betweens. And I learned it from a see and say.
Yes. Yeah. And you could, some of them had pull strings, but his had a little crank on the side.
Who says?
Who says?
I've never heard of a who says.
Well, we had one.
Okay. How big are we talking? Because the see and say was like kind of big.
I would say it was 10 to 12 inches by like 9.
Okay. All right. Who was that made by?
Ugh, I have no idea. Probably Mattel or one of those.
Play School, something like that?
Yeah, something like
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a who says. That's actually kind of fun to say, by the way. Who says? Okay. First up for me is, I think the earliest memory I have of talking toys would be probably like, I must have been like 4 or 5. So we're talking like 85, 86 here. And I loved this toy. I just wanted to take it with me everywhere, which was kind of difficult because it was big and clunky. And if you grew up in the mid to late 80s, maybe even the early 90s, you probably remember this big, chunky white machine that kind of looked like someone turned a cassette player into like the dashboard of a toy space shuttle.
Okay.
Are you familiar with a talk and play?
A talk and play.
Talk and play. It's TALK, the letter N apostrophe PLAY.
You're going to have to describe it to me. Was there a little book involved?
Yes. So it had big, colorful
Yeah.
buttons, a built-in cassette deck, and spiral-bound books that you would place above the buttons. And the books were usually like tied to characters that you already like were familiar with. Mickey Mouse or Sesame Street Gang, you know, stuff like that.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who has the most amazing talking toy.
Play School's Talk and Play.
Sometimes while Big Bird was telling a story,
Each of the little pigs.
she switched to Oscar
Some of my best friends are pigs.
or Clover,
There is a wolf out there.
and everyone thought it was the best fun in the world.
Because kids can change the voices, they can change the story, and that can make Talk and Play more fun than anything else that talks. Play School's Talk and Play, because we know kids love toys that talk.
So what made the talk and play feel magical was that it interacted with you, or at least it felt like it was interacting with you. The tape would tell you what buttons to press at specific times, and depending on which button you pressed, would take you down a different kind of story path. So like the machine would respond differently. So when you're like a 6-year-old, like 1987, like I was, it basically felt like artificial intelligence. Like it was a little more than just a tape reading you a linear story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Did it have a pen or did you press the button with your fingers?
It was all big chunky buttons, primary color buttons. Like you couldn't even miss it. Like even if you had fat fingers, you still are just pressing one button at a time. It was really a big thing. I think for me, actually, the nostalgia of it was the feel of it. You felt like it was almost like your briefcase. You felt like you were doing like big person work as a kid, you know? I've got a book, you know, you're sliding that cassette into the tape deck and then you're hearing the clunk of the buttons. You're doing things. It's tactile. And not to mention, it literally doubled as a regular cassette player. So you could, you know, 1 minute be helping Big Bird solve a problem. And then the next minute you're rocking out to Born in the USA with the boss. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah.
Talk and Play felt futuristic and high tech. Like it was kind of like our smart tablet back in the day, for me at least.
Yes. Yeah. So was that the like precursor to like the leapfrog learning, like those kinds of things?
I mean, I guess it makes
think?
sense. Like, you know, the leapfrogs have books and they have like little cartridges, I guess, that you would put in it and then go from there. I mean, yeah, I guess that's the predecessor to the leapfrog. Talk and Play.
So I have a question for you. When do you think the first talking doll was invented?
Ooh, I want to say, okay, so it can't be before, like I can't say like 1700s. Like it's got to be somewhere like recorded voice. We're not talking 1800s. I'm going to say, I want to say like, I really want to say like the 1950s.
Wow. You're off by about 60 years.
Stop it, really? I'm going into the 1800s?
1890s, and you'll understand why when I tell you its name. It was called the Edison phonograph doll.
Yo, okay.
Yeah, so he invented a talking doll like that he put some kind of phonograph system inside the dolls, and it was a pull
How
string.
big was that doll for a phonograph from the 1890s?
I saw pictures and they didn't seem that big. They seemed like regular sized dolls. So I don't know how it worked. I really don't know how.
I have to look this up. That's wild to me. I had no idea. I mean, I knew he invented a lot of things, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you want me to do more factoids now, or should I save it for a little bit later? I have one more.
Bring me another one.
So one of the most famous, speaking of the 1950s, one of the most famous talking dolls was the Chatty Cathy, right?
Right.
Well, the Chatty Cathy, the woman who did the voice for Chatty Cathy was the same woman who did the voice for Talking Tina on the Twilight Zone episode Living Doll.
That's a creepy episode too.
Yes. So that is like the creepiest episode of the Twilight Zone. And one of the reasons is because it's the same voice as the real Chatty Cathy doll.
That's fantastic. That's actually really clever too. That's really funny.
So they like doubled down on the creep.
Yeah, that's why that episode works so well. Yeah, you're right. That's fantastic. So all those people that had Chatty Cathys in their house are now hearing that in their head and thinking, oh my goodness. You know?
Someone pulls that doll string and they hear it and they're like, oh my goodness. And it just brings back all this. Oh, I think that's hilarious and awesome.
That is funny. All right, you're next up with a toy. What do you got?
All right, my next one is the one that I was talking about earlier. It is my favorite toy, and I used this well beyond its years for me. We actually got this toy after it was my time to use it. So it was made by World of Wonder, and it was called the Mother Goose Storyteller. And it was a mother goose. She was the size of a real goose. Pretty large. Wow. Yeah, she was pretty large. A small goose. And her wing, you could lift up her wing, and under her wing, there was a cassette deck, and you could put the different cassettes in there. And there were stories that came with it, and she would read you the story, and her beak would move, and her eyes would move while she was telling the story.
Hector looked down at his reflection in the water.
Now you can hear your favorite fairy tales from the talking Mother Goose herself.
He saw a beautiful white bird with soft white feathers and a long, slender neck.
Batteries not included. The talking Mother Goose from Worlds of Wonder.
Oh, okay, like a Teddy Ruxpin type.
Yes,
deal.
Very much like a Teddy Ruxpin. And she would read the stories to you. And of course, just like you were saying, you could use it for anything. And she would sing. She would be singing to Tina Turner or whatever.
You could chuck a Metallica tape in there and scare somebody. Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's so. I think, did World of Wonders, did they also make Teddy Ruxpin? So this might have been perhaps in that same family. Mm-hmm. It sounds like. Yeah. If not, that's a goose. That's fun.
Yeah. So we definitely got her a little later than I was, when I was a little older, but I still used it. And I didn't listen to the stories as much. I put other tapes in there and had her talk while I was, listening. But that was always a fun one for me. How about you? You got another one?
I do. Next up for me is technically, if you've noticed, every single one of these that we're talking about, they're learning toys. So I didn't realize at the time that this is like what it was. Like what I was playing with was learning toys. To me, this one was, and so was my talk and play, but this one was really cool. Once again, chunky plastic, and it kind of felt like it had its own personality. The Alfie 2. Are you familiar with Alfie 2?
Oh my goodness, I love my Alfie. If I still had it, we would still play with it.
Oh, same here.
How old would you say children have to be before they get their first computer toy? Would you believe 3? This is Alfie, the friendly computer, and these preschoolers are programming Alfie to help teach them spelling, addition, subtraction, and rhyming words.
A right answer makes Alfie's face light up. Alfie can also play games and music.
And Alfie grows more challenging as your child grows. That's Alfie, the friendly computer, from Play School.
It had this friendly light up face and those buttons. The ones that were on the sides and the bottom on its front.
Yes.
You didn't just press those buttons. You kind of experienced them.
Yes, for sure.
They were rubbery. They were soft. They were uniquely textured. And like springy in a way that like no other toy button has ever felt to me since.
Absolutely.
But I can totally just feel it. If I think about it hard enough, I can feel those buttons
Yes,
again.
you can still feel, and I can even feel the difference between the red ones and the blue ones.
Yeah. Well, like some of them were smoother and
Yeah.
some of them had a little like, not grit, but like it was just kind of like more grip.
Mm-hmm. And the bottom ones had the symbols on them, right? And they would eventually,
so.
they would start wearing off. So there would be like a little chip in the square or the triangle.
Oh, you
or
really
whatever.
played with it.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, we played with that toy unbelievably well after it was like the right age group for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was absolutely a perennial toy in our house.
You'd slide the cards in the front of it, you know, that corresponded with the buttons.
Oh,
And
they
really,
were
like,
so hard to get in, weren't they?
Yes. I think they were harder to get out than they were to get in because
yes,
there was a little catch at the top and you had to like kind of bend the card down a little bit with your fingernail and try and pull it out and then get it back up and out. But really like loading those activity cards really felt like you were doing something important as well. Like, you know, it's like a punch card at work. You're like, okay, it's playtime now. I'm loading something and I'm gonna get at it. Like, you know, it felt like you were activating it. You know what I mean?
For sure. He definitely also had a personality, even though, I mean, he technically didn't talk at all.
No, not one word.
Boop, 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 boop,
yep.
Or boop, boop. But he was definitely, he had real personality and he felt like he was talking to you and you knew exactly what he was saying, even though he wasn't speaking English or, you know, using real words.
And once again, at no point did I feel like I was learning. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm learning math and shapes. No, I just thought like, this is a really cool robot. This is really awesome. Like that's the part of Alfie that made an impression with me. Like the fun playtime with a futuristic robot from space. I loved that. Alfie was the coolest.
He was, and I think his shape and the fact that he was 3D and not flat on the back, like he was a full robot.
Yeah.
That you could carry around with you. And his back and everything had just as much shape and detail that the sides and front had. And Play School did that one right for sure.
Yeah. Like the arms, like his arms would go out and then come back and meet his hips. So you could grab him by his arms and drag him around. Like it was the best. If I had an Alfie today, I would definitely be playing with that. It would be somewhere where I could just like touch the buttons at any time. What's next for you?
So my next one is probably my least favorite thing. We did not actually own one of these, but other people did. And I was just terrible at it. So it's a speak and spell. It's a red rectangle with a handle on top. And it had blue and yellow buttons. And it had like I think it was red, the letters or green maybe.
I think they were red. They were like demon red. Yeah.
Yes. That was the worst. I absolutely hated that thing. It was terrible.
Like I didn't have a speak and spell, but I had plenty of friends that had this speak and spell. And the funniest thing was, I remember like 20 years ago, I don't know if you're familiar with the comedian Dane Cook.
Yes.
He does a bit on speak and spell and how, you know, it talks like this, you know, and it's just really funny. And his impression of it. And like, you know, he talked with it so much that he started talking like the speak and spell. It was really funny. The speak and spell, the purpose of that, what was the purpose of it? You just literally like spelled words into it and it spat it back at you?
I guess you learned how to spell.
I guess.
Because it could go either way, right? He could tell you a word and then
you would have to spell it like a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there was a game to it, but it was, man, I hated that thing.
He's learning spelling with Texas Instruments Speak and Spell.
Rain. R-A-I-N. That is correct.
She's teaching her brother with Speak and Spell.
H-E-R. That is right.
They're learning new words with Speak and Spell. But don't tell them they're learning. They just think they're having fun. Speak and Spell for words, Speak and Read for stories, Speak and Math for numbers. From Texas Instruments, they make learning fun.
I feel like everybody had a speak and spell. And I never wanted to touch that thing. I'd be like, that felt like school.
Yes.
Alfie did not feel like school. Talk and Play did not feel like school. That thing felt like school. And I was like, I want nothing to do with that. It's Saturday.
Yeah, it was a little too basic, I think, and not fun at all.
Yeah, no, speak and spell. But I'm sure there's plenty of people out that are like, oh, I loved my speak and spell. Okay, good, great. Well, this one's for you. I'm sure it helped people speak and spell, I guess. I don't know. All right. Next up for me, I'm going back to 1995.
Okay.
And you've talked about how sometimes you're playing with toys probably outside the toy age window.
Mhm.
Well, in 1995, I'm 14 and I'm not really playing with toys anymore, you know? But I went to the theater that fall in 1995 and I saw what is still one of my favorite movies, Toy Story.
Okay.
I love that movie. 1 and 2. 3 is okay. I didn't ask for it. I understand it. It's fine, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, that is where the franchise officially stops.
Okay.
And everything after that is fan fiction. Anyway, Buzz Lightyear was my absolute favorite. Still love Buzz Lightyear. So when I saw the commercials for a 16-inch tall, talking, fully posable Buzz Lightyear, I was all up on that. Even as a 14-year-old, I needed to have that. It was made by Thinkway Toys, and it was incredible.
You can bring home the adventure of Disney's Toy Story, now on video, with the talking and posable figures of Woody and Buzz Lightyear.
My name's Woody. Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
Cool, he glows in the dark.
Meet intergalactic Buzz Lightyear. His new spacesuit protects him from evil proton rays and comes equipped with a flip-up arm communicator.
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
Firing missiles on target.
Buzz Lightyear and Woody figures are each sold separately. Batteries are included from Thinkway.
Fully posable, buttons were all in the right places according to the movie, wings that popped out, sound effects, plus all the classic like voice lines from the movie. Like it really felt like I had the real Buzz Lightyear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was accurate with great attention to detail. I still have it.
That's so cool.
Its head is broken off, but I still keep it because I love it. One day I might figure out how to fix it.
Oh, you have the head.
Oh yeah, I kept everything. I can still pop the batteries in it and it still talks. All the talking features work, the wings work, and it's just great. So oh, it's awesome just to hear every once in a while, to infinity and beyond, you know?
Yeah.
Like on command, I can hear that whenever I want. That was the coolest. I love that. So everybody out there, if you're a fan of Toy Story, just like I am, every Saturday morning over on the show's Instagram, I post a different Toy Story related clip, commercials, bloopers, behind the scenes stuff, all the nostalgic finds for Toy Story over at Busy Signal Cast on Instagram. Go find that. I love Toy Story. Where are we going next, June?
I have a couple. I have 3 more. I'm going to go to one that I actually used in my classroom when I first started teaching. It is probably the simplest one of these toys that we actually have. And I don't even know if you can call it a toy. It was by a store that supplies paper and
Dunder Mifflin. No?
And
okay.
Pens and staples.
Oh, no, we're doing that. Okay.
And so my toy is the easy button.
The easy. I still see people at my job that have easy buttons on their desks.
Yeah.
And they still work.
So yeah, you just hit it. It says that was easy. And my kids absolutely loved hitting that button, man. They would do almost anything to get to hit the easy button.
Have you guys seen my easy button?
You can use mine.
Use your easy button to find my easy button?
Won't that, like, tear a hole in the universe?
What's the worst that could happen?
That's the worst that could happen.
Just hit it.
Okay.
See, there it is.
Where's Steve?
Want to get organized? Come to Staples. That was easy.
Did you have to buy that or was that like promotional? They gave it away?
I bought it.
Oh, they made a killing off of those. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
They still use it as a, yeah, I don't know if they still make them, but they definitely, I was looking at Staples the other day and they have like mouse pads that have the easy button on it and all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. It's still a marketing tool.
Interesting. All right. Since you have 2 more now, I only have 1 more. So how about you go one more time?
So this is probably the one that you can use as a teenager or as an adult. And it was created probably for both of those age groups as well. It doesn't have a lot of words to it, but it is very, very bossy. And it is Bop It.
Oh, Bop It. Yeah.
Hey, want to play a game that's really challenging?
Like what?
Like Bop It. It commands, you obey.
Bop it. Twist it. Pull it.
easy.
Have it. Sure, it looks easy.
Bop it.
But it's not!
Whoa, it's getting faster.
If you can't keep up, you lose!
You blew it. My turn.
Once you get your hands on Buppet, you're not going to want to stop it. Fast-talking electronic Buppet. Batteries up.
So it doesn't say a lot. It says bop it, twist it, pull it. One of them has a flick it and then a pass it, right? And that's all it says. Yeah. It only has like 7 or 8 words, but it's very bossy. It can be very fun, but it can also, that's one of the things I think that people will rage quit.
It's very snarky with you if you get it wrong. It's like, you stink. Come on, try it again. You know, stuff like that. We actually have one, and it actually records your voice. It'll tell you to record a sound, and then you have to make that sound. It'll be like, bop it, twist it, you know, pull it, make the sound. And then you have to make the sound exactly the same way you made the sound when you recorded it. If you are off a little bit, it's like, nope, never mind, you lose. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Frustrating.
This one really is like, I want to throw it through the room sometimes. Oh, it's brutal. To turn it off is even annoying because like there's no off button. You literally have to leave it alone.
Oh yeah, you like put it in a closet.
Yeah, and then it's like
tons of blankets on top of it until it stops making noise.
Yeah, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like, I'm going to sleep. And then I'm like, are you kidding me? I hate you. Which brings me to my next toy.
Okay.
Last up for me is kind of like one of those toys it seems like everyone had, kind of like a Bop It. All right, so are you familiar with what a yak back is?
I think you say something and then it says it back in a silly voice.
Yeah, kind of. Later ones did have that kind of function, but I never had one. It's another one of those things I didn't have, but so many other people had it. So I played with it a great deal at other people's houses or they brought it to school. But it was this fun little piece of handheld technology that like came out like 1994. It was put out by Tiger Electronics just a year after they released the Home Alone based Talkboy, where you could record and warp voices and stuff on like a cassette tape. That's what Kevin McAllister was using in Home Alone 2.
Okay.
The Yak Back was a stripped down version of the Talkboy, really. It was pocket size, so it didn't need a cassette tape. You only had a few seconds for your digital recording. So it was cheap, it was concealable, easy to stuff in a pocket or a backpack. And the gimmick was really simple. You record your voice and it plays it back. And then you laugh at how ridiculous you sound through that crunchy little like speaker. I think
so
later.
It didn't even manipulate your voice. It just
the original one did not. It would just, you would just be like, you would just say silly stuff. Like, you know, like the kids these days would say something like whatever, insert whatever. Don't.
6,
I don't want. No, I don't want to hear it. That's exactly what they would be putting on the Yak Back.
Yes, it is.
Awful. Anyway, later on they did add like voice effects to speed up or slow down or warp a voice.
What can you do with a Yak Back too? Make Fang sound like Fluffy. With voice warp, you can warp anything. Your dad, clean your room. Clean your dad. Miss Henry. What? Your little brother. Please. So what about you? I'm huge. Say it, play it, warp it. Yak Back to premiere.
Mainly it was used as a catchphrase repeater or like a pranking kind of machine. And portability was the real kind of magic here with this one.
Interesting.
You know, if you wanted to be like a little spy and record people, or if you wanted to be a comedian and do funny voices or funny noises, you could do that. And it's just crazy to think that things like the Yak Back or the Talkboy are completely like boiled down to like non-physical things on our phones.
Yeah.
I miss like physical media and physical things I could touch and buttons I could press. You know what I mean?
For sure. My last one, I actually never played with, but my sister did. I was a little too old for them. And it was a Furby. So Furbies didn't actually speak English, but they did definitely speak. And most people at least know what a Furby is. They're about 6 inches tall. They have a beak. They're like from space or something. I don't know. And they have fur. And I don't even know what kind of creature they are. I think they have wings. They would talk to you.
Me, Amanda. Me, May. That's Furby. The more you play, the more they do. And say, Furby grows more amazing day by day.
Keep amazing me. We love you.
Furby, each sold separately. Batteries not included.
The really cool feature is if you put them next to each other, they would talk to each other and have like full on conversations, which I thought was always creepy and weird. But yeah, my sister loved her Furby. And so I just wanted to throw that one in there, even though it didn't speak English.
Awesome. You know what? I feel like we just talked about a lot.
Definitely.
But barely scratched the surface. So these were some heavy hitters, like as far as 80s and 90s, 2000s talking toys go. Like, and it's wild to think how high tech and cutting edge they felt at the time. Like from pull string charm to full on digital toys. Our generations, the later Gen X and early millennials, we literally watched the shift from pull string toys to full on digital toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We lived through the digital revolution. So we got to see all of that from analog all the way through to digital. And it's been a really interesting ride so far.
Some of it I really miss. Some of it I don't. I could do without the digital. I could literally go back. And
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not alone. Anyway, June, I want to say thank you for coming on and talking toys with me. Talking toys. So this has been really fun. And I think in a couple months, we'll probably be back at this again later this summer with our annual back to school episode. You going to join us for that as well again?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to be on there and come back and talk more back to school stuff.
Great. I think we're going to tie, just a little teaser, I think we're going to tie that episode into a series that I recently started this year.
Okay.
And you and me have talked about it. We'll talk again in a few weeks probably. So
I definitely want to get a chance for you, George, and I to all be on the same.
Yeah. I wanted to do that last year. Things got a little crazy. Mm-hmm. I would love for that to happen this year where you, me, and George get together and play like some trivia.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I think a trivia episode would be really fun.
That would be good. We're all a little bit different ages, so that would be an interesting little take. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I the youngest out of all? I think I am.
You are.
Not by much, though. Not by much.
No.
All right, June. We'll see you later. Thanks again.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So now I want to hear from you. What talking toys did you have growing up back in the day? Got any still tucked in a closet or an attic, basement? Get them out. Snap a pic and tag @BusySignalCast on Instagram. I'll reshare it on the stories, and we can unlock some memories together. While you're there on Instagram, wind up that follow button @BusySignalCast, where you'll find all the retro commercials from the episodes plus weekly nostalgic themes. Right now, we're in the middle of Retro Frozen Treats Week, so come join the fun on Instagram. And if you've enjoyed this episode, which you have, make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your pods. And please, take a second to leave a 5-star rating or a positive review. It really does help others find the show and unlock those memories from back in the day. Well, that about does it for this one. Talking toys is really fun until it's 3 a.m. and you hear the words,
"Let's play,"
coming from your closet. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Once again, I'd like to say thanks for listening. And as always, you can listen to The Busy Signal everywhere quality podcasts are streamed. Hit the subscribe button to have a new episode delivered directly to your favorite device every other Friday. If you really like the show, leave a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple and Spotify. That lets everyone know to come check out what you already think is awesome. You can also head over to Instagram and follow @BusySignalCast for even more retro-nostalgic content. I share a good amount of stuff over there that isn't mentioned in the show. While you're there, say hi in the comments. Don't be shy. And until next time, remember, reach out and touch the past.